not going to.
No, I'm saying.
Why not?
You're going to be associated
What's
with.
wrong with
athletes.
Fresh and Fit?
What's wrong with Fresh and Fit?
I don't have no problem with them.
You want to hang with them in Miami?
Hell no.
Why not?
I'm cool on that.
Why?
You want to go to the club with them?
I'm good. I've been to the club. I've had fun times at the club. I'm good.
All right, so what's wrong with those particular guys?
There's nothing wrong with them. Why are you creating this narrative?
See, so you're saying there's nothing, because, like, I feel the question about the Manosphere, right? Again, I'm not involved with that, but...
You're a guy whose opinions, you react to things daily. So I'm curious of your opinion about the Manosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think DJ Academics is a part of the Manosphere? Do you think that his commentary makes him a part of the Manosphere? One, if you think that DJ Academics is a part of the Manosphere. Two, if you think that he's just like a viewer and just doesn't really get involved with anything.
Outsider, not as an insider.
Yeah, I mean, I particularly think that a lot of the people who are the leaders, or the people that I don't know that much people in there, but like, whether I'm talking about that Rulu loser, even the homies Fresh and Fit, I won't even say Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, but to a certain extent, he was more about trying to get people to understand, because we're living in a fucked up world where, Instagram has kind of fucked up the date marketplace, where in reality, before Instagram and just the connectivity that the whole world has, you wouldn't have a girl who just, she looks good, having access to possibly date or hang out with a multimillionaire. And these days, it's only a DM away, right? And that is, that's why I fucked with what Kevin Samuels was saying to a certain extent, when he said, hey, listen, we're having less marriages and less families that are happening because women have these unrealistic expectations. You should lower your expectations.
Exactly. And why are marriages failing more and more and more and more often? And what the red pill has taught me, not even just the red pill, just listening to a lot of women talk about relationships, you can see that they have an overinflated ego built up through social media, through Instagram. Because women can get attention, and attention is an asset to women. We understand this. Women love attention for a purpose, for a reason, right? Because they're young, beautiful. Guys are going to be attracted to them. They like the attention. When the attention is taken away from them, their inflated ego pops, right? So that happens with time. But when they're young, they have all this ego, so they don't have to commit, and plus the inflated ego combined with feminism, telling them to be independent, telling them they don't need a man, telling them, fuck a man, I could raise a kid by myself. It's ruining relationships. It's ruining marriages. Men don't even want to become the kind of man that these women want to be with because there's no point of dealing with them in the first place. So that's what Red Pill has truly exposed about the psychology of women in today's society, right?
These women.
What are you guys saying? Let me see. We will react to a iShowSpeed scam. We can do that too. Let me see. Probably viewer. The fact that Academics is still on air is disgusting. He started off on people's dramas. I mean, that's the reaction culture, bro. That's the culture. That's what people are viewing. So he's just reacting to it, giving his opinion on it, giving his perspective on it. I can't really hate him too much on that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. He's trying to stick his nose in everybody's drama. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. That's what reaction content's about. Let's be honest. Everybody does that in some way or another.
Right? They, like younger women, clearly I'm talking about, they think they all deserve a millionaire.
What's wrong with that? Why can't they think that? That's what I don't understand. I don't understand the logic. Like, think that you should deserve that, and then life will tell you if that's something that's attainable. But like, I wouldn't tell some young guy to think.
But you see, this is what Andrew Schultz just said right there. He's like, oh, women think that they can get this $1 million. They should be able to think that they can get this $1 million man, $1 million net worth man, right? Women should be able to think that. I agree. That's a W. And he's like, oh, but life will humble them. No, that's the problem. Life is not humbling them, Andrew Schultz. It's not. They rather sit here and truly believe with all their heart, even though it's not working out, even though they're getting lied to, even though they're getting taken advantage of. They don't care. They will still believe, oh, I don't care about my body count. That doesn't matter. I'm still going to have kids. I'm still going to make more money than him. And I'm not going to even think about the things that he wants. And that perfect Prince Charming will still come to me. They are not willing to take self-accountability, Andrew Schultz. That's the problem that you don't see. Like that's why Andrew Schultz doesn't get it. That's why he's so concerned about it.
Hey, you should be more realistic with your expectations. Like, think you deserve the hottest girl in the world. Think you deserve the best job. Think you deserve the best career. Like, you didn't get to where you are without having grandiose dreams.
Well, I think that's where Kevin Samuels was. I agree with him. He was on point. He was making people be realistic.
But why? And what is the purpose? We live in a dream world, like you and I.
Well, there's a cost to being unrealistic. For example,
you got to be willing to pay it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what I'm saying. The cost that society was feeling is that,
and that's the thing, is that men, we know, like I said before, we got to go for 3s to get 6s to get to 8s, and then maybe to even hit a 10. All right, we need to work our way up the ladder. Women don't need to work their way up the ladder. All right, they get devalued as they work their way up the ladder. As they start going through a bunch of different guys, they get devalued. As guys, we become more and more increasingly selective. At least that's what wise men would do. That's not what most guys do. But the smart guys, the critical thinkers, will go through every single girl they go through. They will learn something and apply it to the next girl and be even more selective. Therefore, when they're trying to choose a wife, right, to carry their last name that they've built, that they've earned, they know, hey, guess what? If it doesn't work out, it was my fault, not her fault. But it's not working the same way for women. It's not. Women aren't taking self-accountability. Their accountability comes with age. That's it. As they get older. And then they can't attain what they want. When they might as well start working on it, what they want. What they want is to be wives. What most of them want is to be wives, is to be a good mother, right? And if they want that, they should start working on that and learning learning about men, learning what they want, and start to become that kind of woman in their 20s, not in their 30s, not in their 40s, when guys don't want them anymore.
We were seeing family structures getting broken down and like really.
I loved it when like
family structure's been broken down.
But it's just so funny when guys that don't have families start to talk about the importance of family structure.
Well, like, that's not my point.
I'm just saying, like, it's like guys
all they do is prey on girls that come from broken family structures, and then talk about how we need a good family structure.
What happened to the nuclear family?
Wait, hold on.
Here's the thing, though, is that these guys that are high-value men that have all this money that don't have families yet, they literally, the next day, they can set up a plan to get a family. They have women on their rosters ready to go. They can get each one of them pregnant, and they can start building a bigger family and maintaining them faster than we can. You know what I'm saying? Faster than the average Joe can. So, you know, the high-value guys, yeah, they can talk about it because they can actually attain it when they want it, right? That's the true definition of power, is when you can pick up the hammer and when you can put it down, all right? When you know you truly have that power, when you're able to mold it and control it back and forth. A lot of guys, guess what? If you haven't worked your way there, and you're trying to manage 5 different girls, and you have 5 different baby mamas, like, you're in real trouble. You're in real trouble. You didn't become that guy first. And especially if you chose the wrong girl, she's going to take you for everything you're worth.
Nuclear family?
All of them.
But all right. And then here's the point that I say, right? Because I don't give a fuck what women do.
If you have a family, you could talk about the importance of family.
Yep.
Here's the thing, though. But I don't give a fuck about what women do in that sense.
Yeah.
That's their. I'm telling you what someone in that realm, like a Kevin Samuels would say.
Yeah.
Which I think has credence in theory, but I agree with you.
Can I give?
You can't. Hold on.
Yeah, go.
You can't tell people what to do. I don't give a fuck. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
The majority, like, if we're saying, yeah, women should all seek to try to get the highest earning, whatever type of guy. Sorry, I'm in that bracket. I'm gonna win. This is the reason why Nick Cannon getting 10 chicks pregnant.
Right.
Like, again, the people at the highest parts of society always win.
Right.
I usually give the pushback when it comes to that manosphere thing to the audience. And this is where I tell them to be realistic. this high value man thing is based on being a 1% guy.
Right.
The probability of you being 1% is not.
It is
not high.
It is 1%.
Obviously.
It's 1%.
Literally 1%, yeah.
So I usually tell them, if you're looking for a way to live life and a way to treat women and treat relationships, if you're looking to get taught by theories that only apply to 1% man, and it's 1% chance you'll ever live that life, you're wasting your time. But you're right. Just like how we should say to the woman,
I want the guys to dream too.
Yep.
yeah, okay, but there are costs. You know what costs are? And this is why Tate got banned. You now have a bunch of, whether it's kids, whether it's just men who are just not in that position, starting to, by their attitude and how they're treating women, it trickles down to be kind of dangerous at times.
Here's the Tate,
bro. They keep saying that. They keep saying, "Oh, it's gonna be trickled down towards the kids, and they're gonna start treating women badly because they're not doing their full homework or their full research." That's always happened. There's always gonna be those stupid guys that sit here and watch all the and they need to be stupid. They need to be stupid. They need to learn from their stupidity. All right. The world will hold them accountable if they are abusing and mistreating women. There are laws after laws. There's the workplace, school, online. All these things in life will hold you accountable. They will humble you if you truly believe that you should go outside and just yell at women for no reason, or put them down, or say truly hurtful, misogynistic, hateful things, like just going out in the street and calling women whores. Like, the world is going to hold you accountable to that. There's always going to be that one night. It's like, yo, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You know? So that ideology is fucking stupid. It's bogus. It's so dumb. It's so dumb that red pill is essentially making guys hate women, and women are going to, the repercussions of that is that women are going to suffer towards this hate. Women are just going to ignore those guys like they do anyways. You don't, all the guys that are thirsty in their DMs, and then all the guys that are just hating them and calling them whores, they ignore them both equally. So what the fuck are they talking about? Let me see. Yo, hey, what's up, J-World? Welcome back, brother. I haven't done any research on the Islam yet. I haven't done it. I'm not gonna lie. When I talk about it, I really want to be well informed about it. Better off worrying about getting bread than a chick. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You should always prioritize leveling up your skills before you think about even talking to women or hitting any girl up on the Instagram. All right. Focus on your life and the life that you're trying to build. When you have a little bit of time while you're building that lifestyle, yeah, you know, go pursue, go dabble, go have a little fun, bro.
City boy, city boy.
She goes out with you if you wear certain clothes, if you have plenty of weed, if you have a decent car, if you have an apartment, if you have a big house, if you have a Lamborghini, if you have a yacht. It never ends. Exactly, bro. And for each tier, there's going to be different kinds of women looking for those things, right? Now, what women want is they want an experience. So as men, what do we have to do? We have to provide that experience, all right? You don't need a yacht. You don't need a Lamborghini. These things will help you tremendously in social proof, but you don't need them, all right? If you can get through have entertaining a woman without a Lamborghini and without a yacht, all right, imagine how much more entertainment you're going to bring to them when you're able to get that Lamborghini and that yacht. You get what I'm saying? You need to be able to do both. So you need to be able to build up and earn the ability to entertain women in a Lamborghini and a yacht. Because at the end of the day, that's truly what you're doing it for. All right? Maybe some of you guys might like the engine in the Porsche and the Ferrari and all that shit. I get that shit. But in reality, you're doing it because it makes you look, it increases your status as a man, and it increases your value. Therefore, you are more likely to get the right kind of attention from women that you seek. Let's see. It's the kids that watch all the rap videos and fighting on Instagram that's teaching the kids. I'm a little confused by that, bro. I'm a little confused by that.
Banned because he was saying jokes and then acting as if they weren't jokes. He's a smart guy who is also very funny. And he's actually
hysterical.
He's actually thoughtful too. And his mistake was going, I really am this. This is who I am. I am not playing a character, which he was. I am this, and I've embodied this, and this is who I am. And
the thing is, I said the same thing. I'm like, yo, Andrew Tate plays this character, he embodies this character, the showmanistic. But in reality, he really is that guy. Like, he's been talking like that for years. You know, he's built up this ego and this confidence through personal experience, suffering, and trauma. So at this point, I don't even think it's a character. Andrew Tate really knows who he is. And that's what we're watching. It's just, we cannot make sense of a man who's so sure and secure of himself because we need to pick apart every little detail in his life. And even when we do, because I've watched countless Andrew Tate videos trying to dissect, trying to find the weak points in his personality, and it's impeccably hard because he puts a lot of time and effort into truly molding himself into the man that he is today. So I don't believe it's a character. I don't believe it's even done for showmanism. I believe he truly is that guy. Sometimes he just trolls and makes jokes. That's it. But it's not a character. He just makes jokes like any other guy.
What people should believe. He's playing a character with most of the things he's saying. Listen. And you're not saying anything different from me because if you really look at why he got banned, it's because of the influence on the impressionable minds.
And the reason why it was influential is because he was like, this is real, and this is how you have this life, and this is how you do these things. He's also said other things that obviously don't get highlighted at all, but like he's worked incredibly hard at the things that he's done and been incredibly successful at those things. It takes a lot of dedication and discipline to do those things. The guy's smart. If you hear him talk, you understand he's smart.
I had more podcasts.
Exactly, and he finds a way. He found a way to hack the system. It was like it was really brilliant the way he did it. I think his miscalculation, which I've even heard him talk about, is he's like, now I wish I rephrased them. You never get to the point.
No, bro, no. You see, this is a perfect example of Andrew Shultz doesn't even listen to the bullshit that he's talking about, all right? It's not that, I should have rephrased it. What Andrew Tate said in his apology video was, I should have reconstructed what my message was as I grew larger and larger and larger on different platforms. That's it. Only because he can be clipped incorrectly. So it's not that what he was saying was wrong, all right? He said it in the way in which he should have said it to gain the attention, to gain that large platform. But as he's gained that larger platform, what he's realized is that maybe I should add a little more context to it, or maybe I can be smarter in picking apart every single sentence that I say so that it cannot be misclipped. That's it. And honestly, that's nearly impossible. But that's the compromise that he was willing to make. Andrew Shultz did not listen to a word of what Andrew Tate said in his apology video. He didn't.
You can't control your narrative. And this is the problem with having the removal of access to either YouTube or Twitch or any of these things. Like, going out there and getting canceled for fun is not good because you can't control your narrative. Now you got to go on other people's shows and be...
Going out there and getting canceled for fun is not good because you can't control your narrative? Did you not just see what Andrew Tate did? He went out, got canceled for fun, and is still in full control of his entire narrative and is still on social media and you're still talking about him. So what are you talking about? That was the perfect execution. That was the perfect example of, yes, you should go out. His goal was to purposefully get canceled to make his message and reinforce his message to be stronger. He always talked about having a 3-step plan. It's crazy, and they still don't see it.
I mean, if you look at the Piers Morgan thing that Tate did, it's like it was this onslaught of questions. He couldn't actually articulate what he wanted to say, and you're at the whim of these other people. Never get to the point where you can't go on a platform and reach millions of people and say exactly how you feel about your situation. You were in a position where people were trying to mischaracterize you, right? You had a million different outlets to go out and say exactly what happened, clear the narrative. If you didn't, if you were canceled, you're what people say you are.
Yeah, but also, here's a very big difference, right?
All right, that was a great point. That was a great point, is that if you do get canceled and you get silenced, then all these people that are mischaracterizing you and misrepresenting you, they have full control in how other people think about you, and you can't even say anything because you're silenced, you're canceled. So essentially, you have no real control over your own voice. Other people do, and other people's perceptions do as well. So that's a great point. That's a great point.
And I always go back to, I'm like, in the level that I'm at now, when I do interviews with people for the first time and they're trying to like figure out my past, the only thing they always, and I always talk to Charlamagne about it, and he said, you're lucky that's the only thing that they could really try to hold on to is like the war in Chirac shit, right? And if that was an ideology.
Well, I wasn't talking about that.
No, I know. But imagine if that was an ideology that I was still having to live to. Yeah. Because here's the thing with Tate. Does Tate get that popular without someone, like, it's not what he was saying. He was also packaging it better than anybody that sounded like him.
Yeah.
That came with jokes.
Unique
that
thoughts.
came with that came with tongue-in-cheek comments. So again,
so funny.
There's a lot of those guys.
Funny.
Yeah.
So again, it's like you can't really just kind of say to him now, like, well, if you didn't say that back then, that's all part of why he got to here.
Yeah.
That's why I've also said, and shit, I told my dudes at Fresh and Fit, I said, yo, that rhetoric is not meant for the mainstream. That rhetoric
is meant for niche groups. Once it goes mainstream, then you risk cancellation. I think that's why, like,
exactly, man, and that's why I'm scared of doing this whole red pill shit. But I say I'm scared, but at the end of the day, I think that, or hopefully, YouTube won't misrepresent the things that I say, and even if they do, there's always Rumble as backup. At the end of the day, you just got to get the messaging correctly, and you got to find new ways to push the conversation and elevate it and challenge it, right? In a way in which it's actually edible and people want to listen to it, because this is not new ideology, but it's fairly new to being popular, like exploding in the media, and I believe it's actually benefiting men for the long run. So that's why I'm in the space. That's why I think this is great to react to and have these kinds of conversations.
The beauty of having an art form, the beauty of having stand-up, or the beauty of having music is you're allowed to touch these topics that are really radioactive in a way where people can digest them. There are jokes that I have that are way more sexist than anything Tate said, but they're funny and it's clearly a joke, so now the information can get out there. Not like I'm trying to push out truths or whatever, I push out comedy. But when you're going, this is who I am this person, this is my life.
And pushing ideology.
Which is very important. Now, I think what Tate did is he had this rise to fame that was meteoric, right? Because he was so salacious. My assumption, and I would love to hear what he has to say about it, is that if he reduced how salacious it was by, let's say, 20%, 40%, doesn't matter, it wouldn't be as fast, but it still could rise because at the end of the day, he's an engaging speaker and he's very entertaining. So it's like, how do I get there while at the same time reducing the radioactivity of it? If you look at Ben Shapiro, right? So I think
that's a good point. I think, and that's the point that that's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that there's this, if you can just kind of follow the narrative, but it's like you also don't want to get caught up in just saying what other people want you to say because it makes them feel better. You know what I'm saying? There should be a certain way in which you can progress, and there's going to be certain thresholds that you seek along the way, and you're supposed to push past those thresholds. For example, Fresh and Fit is a great example of this, right? They lost 50,000 followers over a controversy or some shit, and then the entire mainstream media was misrepresenting them and mischaracterizing them and just spreading lies about them. They didn't get canceled, but they were still able to push through each threshold and reach the 1 million mark, man. They got 1 million subscribers, so shout out to Fresh and Fit. There is hope for Red Pill on YouTube. Fresh and Fit is living proof of that.
Trolling Mike Brown or Trayvon Martin, I forget exactly what it was, but like on the anniversary of the death, yikes, there was a troll tweet that I think is still out there. He made his bones being salacious. Maybe not as salacious as Tate, but it was salacious. He was antagonistic. He was pushing. Now, he's retracted. He even put out a book where he's like, we got to hear both sides. He has the Daily Wire, which is a news organization that is putting out content. He's become way more mainstream and palatable because his rise to the top wasn't as meteoric.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. In that realm, you only get to, after Kevin Samuels died, you only became the guy
if you went as hard.
Super salacious.
You got to up
But you don't
the
got to be the
morphine.
guy. You could slowly get there.
Yeah, but that rhetoric in itself, the audience that's digesting it doesn't want middle of the road shit.
They don't want.
They want extreme shit. So again,
That's the price you pay them for extreme.
no, but that's what I'm trying.
Without art behind it. If you put art behind it, you could do it. But if you don't put art behind it, like the drill music, perfect example. If you make art out of these horrendous things, we'll listen to it, we'll enjoy it. You know, we'll take it in.
This is a perfect example of what somebody just said in the comments down below. He said, it's crazy to see how much effort is put into killing morality and pushing degeneracy in society. And Andrew Schultz is like, oh, you should be able to spread your red pill message as long as there's art representing it behind it. What do you mean art? They're just values and ethics. There's a whole purpose as to why men think this way, as to why men must believe this so that they can choose and select the right kind of lifestyle that they want for themselves without forcing anybody to do anything that they don't want to do, specifically degrading or holding women down. Because that's not what Red Pill is about. Red Pill is about selecting, being highly selective of who you're with and the life that you're building. That's a big-ass W. Nobody's spreading that shit on social media right now except Red Pill. Let's be honest.